What's going on, world? It's your boy, Kuya NRW Nerds Rule the World, back with another KayFabeyBaby NRW Ring Generals Podcast with the full house of black, our trios of the NRW. I got Sean Mongold coming back from vacation of everything as well.
Yeah.
Look good.
Yeah, thank you.
Fresh and clean.
Got a new chain,
Oh, I got a new chain? Okay, let's go. I hope you're fresh and spirit is good and rejuvenated, man. It's a pleasure to see you, bro.
It was definitely needed. Thank you.
Awesome. And of course, the man of style, the man, the myth, the fragrance, Mr. Webster Style. Eldon, how are you today, sir?
I'm doing well.
Yo, your tie for a half second because of the way it looked like it was like a cartoon tie. I don't know if that's what it's supposed to look like, but from my visuals right now, it's like he's like got a cartoon. The way it's like, did it come up to you like that?
It's like a caricature or something. It's like cell shaded or something.
It's kind of pimp.
Thank you.
Well, thank you both for coming through. Wrestling is insane right now, and as we were going over right before we started, as of this recording, we got 3 pay-per-views this weekend. We have Night of Champions, NXT Battleground, as well as AEW Double or Nothing. We are going to drop our thoughts, our picks for all of those matches. But before we go, we got a couple things, Stalker. Well, really one thing, because y'all know I am a Sasha Banks stan, a.k.a. Mercedes Varnado, a.k.a. Mercedes Moné. She had a match recently against my homegirl, who I'm really a big fan of as well. Got to see her at Ring of Honor. Been seeing her blow up with AEW, just her star rising. She got a championship win at that over Mercedes, like straight up an RKO style out of nowhere. Did not see this happening. And I think we were all talking as well before this. I don't even know if it was planned, because I know I did see in the trades that she got hurt. Like, real talk, she bruised like her ankle or something. Was this supposed to happen? Gentlemen, I don't know. I still got to catch up. I've been super busy, so I haven't read everything. What do y'all know about my girl, man? Is she okay?
Dirt Sheets really hasn't talked a lot about it, man. And that was what was interesting. Like, I felt like this didn't get a lot of hype. And I don't know why that is. You know, Willow is great. I love Willow. Willow actually taught one of our wrestling intensives that we did here in Maryland at the Black Box. So Willow is actually a really good friend of like the Flying V family and everything. And she constantly comes back and like is like a guest teacher. So we've actually worked with her. Willow's great. And so this was, I'm really happy for Willow, because this is a great opportunity. But yeah, like in my opinion, I think this was kind of like a on-the-fly decision with Mercedes getting injured the way that happened. I love the fit, like this kind of like Snow White, like black and red hair, like I love the fit, like I loved everything. I thought she was going to win it. She's in New Japan. Willow's not. Willow's in AEW, and Willow's signed with AEW. Like the fact that this title, the first of this title, is going to a non-NJPW wrestler, it like baffled me. So that's why I think that it probably was on the fly. But also at the same time, like how she got carried out of the ring, Mercedes, like there's no stretcher. Like literally a dude just like picked her up and like carried her back. And I'm just like,
yeah, I
think if she really got injured, they would bring out like a fucking stretcher or something like that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like not just have a single dude come out and be like, like carrying her across the threshold. So it was a little weird. So take that with what you will. But that, in my opinion, I think it was on the fly. But honestly, like they actually mentioned Mercedes yesterday at Dynamite as of this recording. They mentioned her because they showed slides. Obviously, so Mercedes was on AEW in some of the replays of this match, because Willow is an AEW star, so they have to say, Willow is now a champion in NJPW. So they are starting to mention Mercedes on AEW. So maybe this builds up to like some kind of epic match. Maybe she gets on it, like, maybe if she gets better, it's going to be a big match against Willow, and it's going to like, maybe main event the next pay-per-view. I don't know. Yeah. But this would be, really, really dope. to build up a storyline here, because Willow is forever a babyface. She's one of those people I don't think I ever see her turning heel, but this would be a great opportunity for Mercedes to go full heel mode, come in, CEO, boss bitch shit, AEW, fuck up Willow, and then issue a challenge to fucking Jade and have the NJPW strong. And then she'll be like champ. She'll have the NJPW strong title, and then she'll get the TNT title off of Jade. And I think that's just like a great thing to build up, because right now the Taya, I don't want to keep going because that's going to be another part. I'll talk about that later. Sorry, Eldon, sorry.
I don't know what to think of it. I would be very surprised if it was planned. As far as put title on Willow, I'm glad they did. I love Willow since I first encountered Willow with WoW.
Yeah.
And I've loved it. Like, she actually responded to tweets and stuff, and she just seems like such a really cool person. So I've followed her since then, and so cool to see the belt put on her. I'm really looking forward to see what she does with it. And Sean, everything you said, that's some great booking right there, and they need to do it.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I agree with you all. I definitely think this was a on the fly call. And it couldn't have happened. I want to say, if it's gonna happen, I like that it happened to Willow, who I think we all agree is an amazing wrestler, amazing person. Right. And this is only going to help propel her career even further, because I never would have thought I'd saw that. Definitely think Willow's amazing, but against Mercedes, what? Wow. But if Mercedes is truly injured as well, really hope she gets better, because I think we all love her as a performer. Right. And just love, as you were saying, Sean, where this sets up to see her eventually go against Willow, make her a major heel. Then hopefully a dream match for me, Jade Cargill versus Mercedes, would be absolutely amazing. So fingers crossed. Go ahead
and peep this. Look at your background, but Mercedes does the outfits. So does Jade.
Outfits have been on.
Mortal Kombat 1's coming out. Their pay-per-view match, they're opposing, if fucking Mercedes does Katana and fucking Jade does Jade, as they come out, and it's just a full-on MK, old school battle. It just has so much potential right there. Just chef's kiss. I hope that's what happens, man.
I would, man, that would be amazing. Would love it, love it. And I don't know if y'all follow her on the AEW newsletters. They always kind of put out these amazing prints for a pay-per-view or whatever to go along with certain matches. I could see that selling like hotcakes right now, Glenn. I mean, not Glenn, but Sean. They probably need you on their marketing department right now to get that going. But let's move on with pay-per-views. Again, we have so many matches to talk about. Let's talk about who we think are going to take it home. Let's start with WWE Night of Champions 2023 with Rhea Ripley versus Natalya for the SmackDown Women's Championship. I saw you kind of stewing a little bit on it a second ago, Sean. Who do you got in that match?
That's a no-brainer, man. This is the basic Saudi Arabia one woman's match. They're going to come out in the full, sleeved gear and everything like that, covering everything, because Saudi sucks. But I mean, of course it's going to be Rhea. I mean, this is just a throwaway match, in my opinion. I love Natty. It'll probably be a decent match, but it's definitely not going to top Rhea and Charlotte at WrestleMania by any means of the nature. They'll probably give them a solid 10 minutes for a couple cool spots. But yeah, Rhea obviously wins.
I agree. Eldon.
Everything Sean said, pretty much. There's no difference in my opinion.
Yeah, I think we can all, we see the writing on the wall on this. I think Natalya is amazing, but, obvious reasons. And she's going to make it look good. It's going to be a fun match. So let's move forward to the next match. Bianca versus Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship.
There's two matches.
Difficult, y'all.
There's two matches.
Yes, looking at the card. Yeah.
Man, look, same thing. That was
difficult, bro.
It is, but at the same time, you can't do that.
Not
she just beat Asuka at WrestleMania. Unless they are going to go hardcore, full on heel, where Asuka's going to be heel for the next fucking 2 to 3 years, and Asuka cheats to win. Like, it's not happening. And especially in Saudi, it's not happening.
Yeah, I'm curious it happening at Saudi. That's what's kind of wild, the wild card for me right now. Because this is a super match, you know, as we all know. And
yeah, but
so close, and now
it's a super match, but also at the same time, look at WrestleMania. It was a lackluster match, man. Compared to Rhea and Charlotte, it was lackluster. And like I said, I said in my previous comments, I think it was because of Bianca's wardrobe was having some issues, and now they're in Saudi. They're going to have full bodysuits. I don't think there's going to be any. So maybe they'll have a better match. I definitely think it's probably going to be a better match than Rhea and Natty. Natty's a solid wrestler. Nothing against her, but this has the ability to be, you know, match of the night if they give them the time for it. But yeah, I still see Bianca winning. There's no way to have Bianca lose in Saudi to Asuka, who she just beat at WrestleMania like 2 months prior. There's no fucking way they do that. If they do, it just discredit, like, unless Bianca like really like is just like, yo, I want Asuka to win and I want to take a break. You know, I don't see it happening.
Okay. Webster Style, what you got?
Yeah, I agree with Sean. I don't understand why they're running this back, personally speaking. Like, not saying I don't love both of them, but I just don't understand why they're running this match back again, especially
so quick.
Well, you know what? This may be something that the powers that be in Saudi Arabia want to see, because we know that happens.
That's true.
So that could be the reason why. I don't see them taking the belt off of Bianca in Saudi Arabia. I think it would be really weird to have Asuka win there. This could be some grander plan for Asuka's development. I don't. That's the only reason I see this. I don't see this benefiting Bianca at all.
Yeah,
I only see it benefiting Asuka in some sort of or something else, some sort of storyline. But I don't see this benefiting Bianca.
Asuka cheats, gets caught, gets this DQ'd. That keeps Asuka strong and as a heel, a full-on heel. But also, it doesn't really close the loop on the fucking storyline. So kind of, it sucks.
Yeah,
I'm mad.
I'm mad they're running back. So we got Bianca all the way through this. I'll be the wild card on this end. I love them both, but if they're doing it this quick, maybe just to play around with this storyline, I'm gonna throw it to Asuka, and we'll see where we stand out when we come up after this weekend. Yeah. All right, next match, let's go with Sami Zayn and KO versus Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa for the WWE Undisputed Tag Team Championship. Who you got, Sean?
First of all, I'm mad because this lets Roman not defend his titles at Night of Champions. Has 2 titles. He's a champ and not defending it.
Either one.
Upset.
Yeah,
but anyway,
defend one of them, right? Yeah.
Exactly. I digress. Obviously the storyline's there. We've been talking about it for months. It's still enticing. It's the only thing I really look forward to on, SmackDown or Raw, whichever fucking one they're on now. I think they're on both still, even though the brand split again. But I see the writing on the wall, the Solo. I honestly think that Solo, something's going to happen and Solo's going to choose his brothers and it's just going to be a fucking fallout. And I hope it's that way. Or vice versa, or Usos help out Sami and KO to win, and just fucking full on, just pull away from the fucking pull away from the bloodline, which sucks because we have a lot more factions coming up and being developed, and it felt for a long time Bloodline was the only faction. And we could have had all these the cool faction, matchup, Bloodline versus LWO, Bloodline versus, fucking Imperium, and they never pulled the trigger on them. And, and now it feels like they're having all these cool factions pop up and now they're breaking down the Bloodline. So it's just okay. But anyway, I think obviously KO and fucking Sami win. there's so many ways this story could go. I don't know what's going to play out. I'm curious. I'm really excited for that. The storyline.
All right, Webster Style, your thoughts?
Yeah, same thing. I don't see Sammy and KL dropping it. I'm more so looking forward to how this evolves, the storyline, and to see what the fallout is from it. Interesting.
All right, I actually really think if Sammy and KO take it, it's only going to be because the Usos helped them, and that would be the only way. But what I really think and would like to see, honestly, oh my God, Solo and Roman taking the belts, and just to piss everybody off. Can you imagine seeing Roman with 3 straps on, bro? And Solo, what the fuck? It's just bloodline ish.
You know what? You might as well just make him a special entrant and make it a triple threat match for the new belt. And just have him beat Seth Rollins and AJ Styles as well, and make it 4 belts.
Hey, eventually it's gonna.
I hate it.
They're just gonna blow him up into the stratosphere, and he's gonna you know what, motherfuckers? I got on my straps. I'm retiring or whatever. I'm gonna chill out for a little bit.
I hate it,
bro. I see it.
They're giving him more power than John Cena did back in the day. Why not, man? It's
they want to build. It's fucking, man, it's McMahon blood up in that piece, even though he's not, well.
Oh, no, he is.
Exactly.
Dirt sheets.
But I'm just saying.
I heard some shit.
Why not? It's the ultimate heelish thing to do, too. Anyway, we'll move on, but I really think Solo and Roman could take it. Moving on to, this one could be very interesting. Intercontinental Championship, Gunther versus Mustafa Ali. Back to you, Sean.
Look. I love, they've been doing this thing with Ali, this positive Ali thing. And it's been funny. Like I said, it's so hard to get over as a baby face, man. And that's one thing, pointing back to your picture at Willow, Willow just does so good at being a baby face, just so charismatic, genuine, just smile, has a character about him and just genuinely gets over. Ali, obviously, he's going to be over. They're going to be in Saudi. He's going to be so fucking over. It would make sense to... Obviously, he's going to have a good showing. I think it's just going to be a slobber knocker. I think it's going to be fucking 25 minutes, just going back and forth. Obviously, making him look good. But it would be cool for him to win in Saudi. But
they're not going to take the strap from Gunther.
No, they're not going to take the strap from Gunther. And I don't... you can't do that to Gunther's credibility and his reign, his streak. You know what I mean? Maybe Imperium comes in and cheats. Maybe, Ali is about to win and fucking bitch 1 and bitch 2 comes out and fucking interrupts it. But yeah, I still think it's just going to be a fucking great match. If they make it a squash match, I'm going to be pissed. Especially in Saudi. Oh, they're going to be pissed if they make it a squash match.
For Mustafa.
No, hell no. But WWE has treated the Middle Eastern wrestlers very horribly from all the shit that came out with the writers. So we know how they treat people of that ethnicity. So, but anyway, I digress. I think it's going to be a slobber knocker. I think, obviously, Gunther walks away with it.
All right, Webster Style, Gunther, Ali.
Definitely I'm going with Gunther. I'm looking forward to this match. I agree with Sean. I think it could be a slobber knocker. I'm fearful of a squash match, but one of the things I've seen that they've done with Gunther, regardless of who his opponent is, there's been a match, an actual, I don't think squash masters would do well for Gunther's credibility. He's the ring general. He wants to wrestle. He wants to show you that he's superior on the mat. It's not about him being the strongest. It's about him being the most superior wrestler in that squared circle.
I see what you're saying.
At least that's what I take from what they're doing in Even Hill's persona. I am looking forward to, I think Ali, this is a good stage for Ali. I mean, Ali, he's had some bright spots, and he's not that person that they can really push for a championship. Well, they could.
They've just been doing him so wrong for a long time.
They have. I
don't see them ever getting it right.
Right. He would be perfect for the U.S. championship, especially since they got, what's his name? whatever. I forget his name. Theory, yeah. Like they had him in that mix, but they had Lashley in that mix.
Yeah.
That kind of, no pun intended, dwarfs Ali. As far as credibility, as far as who can get it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to a good match, but definitely Gunther.
Yeah. And in regards to that, you're talking about Theory. Theory is a championship holder, Night of Champions. Why aren't all of our champions defending their belts? I just want to say that real quick.
Can he go to Saudi Arabia? You always got to ask that question.
Ooh, that too. But I'm just saying, though, like when you have a pay-per-view called Night of Champions, I want to see every title holder defend their belts. Right. All right, let's keep it moving over to Brock Lesnar versus Cody Rhodes. Sean, who you got?
No champions here.
No champions there.
Let me just say that. No champions on Night of the Champions. But anyway, yet again, very confused why they're running it back. Very annoyed. They did the whole Cody broke his arm. So what are they going to do? Like, is he going to fight Brock with a broken freaking arm, like Kurt Angle with a broken freaking neck, or like his torn pec against Seth Rollins? And then what, are you going to let him beat Brock with a broken arm and make Brock look even weaker because Brock already lost once? Like, why are we running all these WrestleMania fucking matches back again 2 months later at another pay-per-view? You're doing Bianca and Asuka. You're doing fucking Brock and Cody. You're still continuing the Bloodline, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens shit. Why are we running all these things back? I'm very confused. And this is what I'm bored of. Like, and, the only story I'm really into is the Bloodline shit. And that's just because it's been going on for 2 years, and I'm invested. I don't give a shit about Darth Brock with his fucking wannabe Undertaker look, Like, I'm bored of it. I'm bored, and I think they're going to lose people for Cody's hype. And I think they're dropping the ball really fucking hard and quick, man. But I don't know. I see Brock and DQ. I still see Cody winning, and it's probably going to be fucking Brock and DQ or some stupid shit. I don't know.
Webster Style, who you got?
Actually, I disagree with everything Sean says except for the end. I agree. Cody's going via DQ. I think Brock is going insane. They can't make him look weak. I have no issues with this. This was just a rehash from Backlash. I mean, it was just the last pay-per-view. The storyline is still going in this case. It's not, you didn't have a stop and start. It's been ongoing. I don't think they're dropping the ball. I think this match and how it works out will determine if they drop the ball or not, personally speaking. Because I think the quality of this match or the ending of this match will really dictate the trajectory of Cody and whether or not they can really push him. Because he's already out of the title picture. He's out of the World Championship picture. He's not going against Roman anytime soon since he's on a different brand. What did they do next with him? And a feud with Brock is not a long-term storyline for hell. It's not a long-term storyline for Roman. Like it's a long-term storyline because it happens a couple times over the course of a couple years because you have history, so you have those connected threads. But it's not a month, 2 months, 3 month storyline for anybody. Brock, he comes in, he either beats you, you beat him, and it's done. So after this, it needs to be done, and they need to figure out what to do. And that's really going to be the test of whether or not this whole feud, if they drop the ball with Cody, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, please make it be done after this.
I forgot about Backlash. So I literally thought that their match was on WrestleMania. So right when you said that, I was like, oh, okay, it wasn't WrestleMania. Fuck. But yeah, I mean, I understand that. What do you think, Pat?
Make this over after this. I think Cody's got to win this, man. You can't keep on making his brother lose who you're trying to build up. So he's got to. But I agree with what you were saying, Sean, that this is only going to make Brock look worse. But you know what? It ain't going to make Brock's been around for forever. It's time to start to transition, build up other people as well. So
I think this is the moment where, like what Eldon was saying, he freaks out, he gets DQ'd, and he gets suspended, and he gets to take a break until, SummerSlam or Survivor
That's
Series
smart.
or Royal
in my
Rumble,
opinion.
because that's what they do every year.
Yeah.
He always gets suspended for
It's
freaking
real
out.
talk.
And it's literally the same thing every year. So it's probably that point in time right here, so that Cody doesn't look strong, but also ends their shit so that Cody can go on to the next shit and not get a belt.
It's like the writers know this. There's different things that, we got to do this to make this fit.
Right.
All right, let's go with the last match, final match, biggest match.
Yes.
For Night of Champions. AJ Styles versus Seth freaking Rollins for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. The third belt, but not really the third belt, taken from Roman. I still do not understand the whole dichotomy of all of that. Back to you, Sean.
Hey, so let me first off by saying I think this is a great match. I want to see Seth get it. I think Seth is the future of the company. AJ, is a veteran, and it would be cool, I could see AJ getting it and then really catapulting the OC now, because like I said, factions are coming up. You get OC versus Judgment Day, especially with Finn and AJ going back, toe to toe, and then OC versus Damian and Dom, and then you have Mia versus Rhea. That's the match I want to see. Is Mia Yim, or whatever her name is now. I can't remember. Mia Michin. There it is. Michin. Michin's her name. Michin versus Rhea. I think that'd be an amazing match. That's a great faction right there. LWO versus OC. Great match. Ray and AJ. You know what I mean? So, anyway, I digress. It would be cool for him. And a lot of people are speculating, Seth is in the new Captain America as the bad guy. Does he have the time? But it's just you really can't do that because Roman barely wrestles. He records all of his fucking promos now, and that's what Seth has been doing. That's why Seth has had so many sit down interview promos, is because he was on set. So they had him pre-recorded. So obviously he still wants to be a part of it. He can be, and apparently the new Endeavor deal is kind of hyping that up, whereas the previous ownership with Vince McMahon, when people were in the movies, they kind of shut them down. So hopefully this is a news turn, but yeah, I want Seth Rollins to win, and I think he does win. I think it's gonna be an amazing match. Obviously, they're both amazing wrestlers. They both put on fucking amazing matches. As long as there's no fuck shit from the OC, which who knows? Maybe this will turn them heel again, full on heel, and maybe they cheat and fucking OC comes out and fucks over Seth and helps AJ. And then that starts a big OC heel push, but then really can't put them against Judgment Day because they're heels too. Anyway, I want Seth to win. I hope he wins. I think he wins.
All right, Webster style.
I am so torn with this match. Like Sean, when I saw it was AJ and Seth, I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be so good. And I try to step back and okay, who should win? Who do I want to win? And really, when it comes down to it, much like Sean said, Seth should win, but I want AJ to win. Personally speaking, I just want AJ to win. I can envision him with that belt. WWE wins no matter who wins.
Yeah.
Those are good representations of the company, good champions. And especially since Seth is a face, AJ is a face, there's no real storyline, so we're just going to get straight wrestling.
Yeah.
I don't think that, an OC heel, and that just wouldn't work for this. And also, the way, at least they can change it, but I don't. It doesn't fit into the storyline for me. This has to be a good wrestling match. But I'm going with Sean. I think they're going to put it on Seth. It makes sense to me, especially considering how big he is and how over he is. And AJ is just coming back.
Yeah.
I think Seth has earned a title shot, or I should say a title run, with the work he's been doing in the past year, personally speaking.
Yeah. Pat, you're muted.
Hey everybody, I'm back. Was talking, but y'all didn't hear me. Anyway, I'm with both of y'all. I think it's gonna be an amazing match. It's gonna be an exciting match. I think we've said before though, Seth freaking Rollins doesn't really need the belt though.
No.
He's so over. And AJ's been putting in a lot of work. You know, both of them I wouldn't be unhappy with. I think they both could definitely deserve a title. But I think AJ deserves it more. Just because, again, because Seth is completely over. AJ's, you know, I think it's just AJ needs it, you know, because he's been, you know, just of all things, I just think he needs it. And we're trying to build up the Blood Brothers, the OC, Mia Chin, that faction. Give them something, you know what I'm saying, to then focus that and build them as something. So I got to put my hat in with AJ. But again, I wouldn't mind with Seth, but I just story-wise, writing-wise, building up, you know, these wrestlers, I think AJ needs it.
I see that. And like, I definitely think AJ would benefit more, you know, like you said, we've said it before, but like, I mean, Seth works. And like what Eldon was just saying, AJ just got back.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think Seth deserves it, but I think AJ could benefit more from being the first ever champion of this to get pushed since he just got back.
Yeah.
But also, like I said, I mean, AJ's also a veteran of this game. You know, he's had multiple titles, you know what I mean? Like, I think this would be dope for Seth to have another, like, I was the first ever of this champion, just like how Finn was the first ever Universal champion. Or, you know what? Maybe AJ does it and he's the first ever this. And then, you know, when they do their feud, OC versus Judgment Day, maybe that's like, oh, I'm the first ever this champion. And he's like, I'm the first ever Universal champion. Anyway, I guess I can see both. It's so hard. This one, I like Eldon said, it's going to be a great fucking match. I still think there's going to be some fuckery.
I definitely think there'll be fuckery.
You can't make Seth lose clean. Like, he's too over.
Yeah.
You know, OC has, like, in my opinion, OC has to like have some fuckery. Like, maybe it's not a full-on heel thing, but there has to be some fuckery and, like, you know, some goofy cheering, you know, celebrating afterwards. I don't know. We'll see. I'm excited for it. I don't know if I'm going to watch it live though, because that's just like 2 p.m. on Saturday.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll be watching it live. I think I'll be out and about on the town, but definitely be tuning in eventually. So let's move on to Sunday, gentlemen. Again, we have 3 pay-per-views this weekend. Let's keep it in the WWE arena universe and head over to NXT. Webster Style, I want you to kick us off with a tag team match for the NXT Tag Team Championship. We have Gallus, Mark Coffey, and Wolfgang with Joe Coffey versus the Creed brothers, Brutus Creed and Julius Creed. Who do you see taking home the tag team championship?
I see Gallus keeping it. I like the Creed brothers. I'm always so sad the Diamond Mine just kind of imploded because I liked what they were doing there. But I think the Creed brothers aren't ready yet. And with Gallus, you have veterans, known quantities. And I think that, especially with them moving Pretty Deadly up to the main roster, I think it's good to have them there to really reestablish the tag team division again, because I think NXT is lacking in that male tag team department at the moment.
Okay. Interesting. Sean, Mongol, what do you think about this matchup? Gallus versus the Creed brothers.
I have no idea who these people
Yeah,
are.
I was waiting to say who.
I literally do not follow NXT. Because we just watch so much other things, and I know I should, but I'm just
70 hours in a day, man.
There's only so many hours in a day, so I have no idea. I'll agree with Webster Style.
Mr. Webster Style. So then we'll go through these quickly. Webster Style leading us off. I've just now gotten back into it. While you were away, Sean, I was telling Eldon I've been recording it now, putting it on the DVR just so I can get back into it, because there's this NXT Women's Championship now that's up for bids because they moved up. What's her name?
Indy Hartwell.
Yeah, they moved up Indy. So I've been tuning in. So I've seen Gallus a little bit. Creed brothers look very interesting. They remind me of the Steiner brothers for some reason. Yeah. I'm going to throw my hat in with you, Webster Style, only because you know more and I'm learning more from you. And while I'm watching, I don't know enough of them, but I think eventually the Creed brothers, from what I did see, I think I saw a match
They're good.
They're good, but hearing from you, because you're knowing more than I, it's probably not their time yet. So I can't really say yet because I'm not tuning in enough. So there we go, y'all. Let's move on to the next match. Last man standing match. Webster style, Ilja Dragunov versus Dijak. And from what I recall, isn't you're a fan of Dijak? And wasn't he like T-Bar when he was up on the main roster for a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, who do you got, bro?
That's going to be a great match. I like both of them. I'm still going with Dijak. I think I told you, like, I have those matches he had with Keith Lee for the North American Championship, like those are seared in my brain because they were so good. So I always have a very good standing of him from those. And even just I was looking at a promo package today for that, and I'm excited to watch that match. I think Dijak, I want Dijak to win, but I don't know because I can see them pushing Ilya Dragovich. And really putting him over to maybe be the next championship challenger. I don't know. I'm still going with Dijak, but it's a coin flip as far as I'm concerned. They're upsides either way.
All right. Okay. Sean, I'm going to keep it going since you aren't tuning in that much with NXT.
I know Dijak, and I'm cheering for him because I don't know the other dude.
Well, I would also say I prefer Dijak over T-Bar. Come on now.
Yeah,
of course.
What a weak ass name when that was the name. Like
that was horrible. That was a horrible call up.
All right, next up, Webster style, we have the triple threat match for the NXT North American Championship that you spoke of. We have Wesley, the current champion, versus Tyler Bate versus Joe Gacy. Who do you got, my brother?
This is hard because I'm surprised they've kept the belt on Wesley for this long. Personally speaking, I kind of want Tyler Bate to win. That the first was it UK champion or NXT UK champion? I don't know. I don't think they're ready to put a belt on him yet, not unless they're really trying to push Schism, which I don't think they're ready for yet. I'm going with Tyler Bate, but I don't see Gacy win, I'll put it that way. But I'm going with Tyler Bate. I think that, especially the way they built this up between him and Wesley, I think that can be a good ongoing feud for the next month or two until they find somebody more suitable to slide in to that North American Championship. I like a Ilya Dragunov or somebody like that.
Okay. I like that vote by you because plug for the other podcast we have on the channel, the NXT What's in the Box. I mean, the NRW What's in the Box, where I unbox wrestling cards because I'm getting back into the whole wrestling collection. I have a bunch of Tyler Bate rookie cards. So if he wins, you're going to help me out greatly there, Webster style. They might be worth something. So let's keep it moving to the British Rounds Rules match. I've never heard of that before. For the NXT Heritage Cup, Noam Dar versus Dragon Lee. Can you tell me what that kind of a match is? I don't understand that match.
I have no idea.
What is the British Rounds Rules match?
I'm surprised they brought back the Heritage Cup from NXT UK. Because that was kind of like their mid-card belt without being a belt. Because Axiom, who's Axiom now, he was A-Kid in NXT UK. I'm talking like I watch NXT UK all the time. I really did. I just know these things. If I remember correctly, he won it and he was the last person with it. So I was surprised they brought this back. I don't know because Dragon Lee's literally like so new. And Noam Dar, but you know what? No, I see Dragon Lee because Noam Dar is an established NXT UK name. Even Cruiserweight title days name. He's an established name. And for the first few for Dragon Lee, somebody who has name recognition but won't really get hurt by getting beat by him. Yeah, definitely Dragon Lee. He's the major signee for the year, so he definitely has to win.
Interesting. Okay.
I love me some
you
Dragon
said
Lee.
Axiom is A-Kid?
Yeah.
Oh, I again collecting cards. I was like, "Who's this A-Kid?" Never seen him, and I've heard of Axiom like in the latest stuff so that's what he's currently going by now. Is Axiom?
Yeah. When he moved over to regular NXT, he became Axiom.
Interesting. Okay, makes sense now. A-Kid, Axiom. Okay. Anyway, we'll keep it moving, gentlemen. Next up, we have the tournament final for the vacant NXT Women's Championship.
You already know,
and which is what we've been talking about. Web style. I've been tuning in because of this. Tiffany Stratton versus Lyra Valkyrie. I want Tiffany Stratton. Web style.
Look, I told you Tiffany Stratton from the jump. I said they're going to put it on her before the tournament. They're going to put it. She is the best person that they have on that women's roster to be champion. And I think I still want to say Roxy. I think Roxy, they had a hell of a match. She's so young though. And that is such a benefit. She's so young. She doesn't need to be champion again. Tiffany is the epitome of what they are looking for in a women's champion. I do not see them putting on the other chick. I don't even remember her name. It's just like I told you, Tiffany Stratton was the one they put it on. They need to put it on. She's in the finals. It's going to be Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah, we're finally going to see the crowning of Tiffany Stratton.
Yes.
To
She's the perfect heel champion for that women's division.
I'm with it. I'm ready and I'm excited, man. And I got all the rookie cards on her too. And y'all know. Okay, biggest match of the night. The current champion for the NXT, the current NXT champion, Carmelo Hayes, with Trick Williams versus Braun Breaker. Webster style.
I said before, I don't understand why we're doing this.
Yeah.
At all. I honestly, Carmelo wins, Braun loses. He disappears and shows up next week on SmackDown. Something like that. They should have just, after he lost, let him lose and then have him go to the main roster instead of having, because it doesn't make sense for Carmelo to lose to him after just getting a title. And he's only had that one title defense. I think it wasn't Dragunov. It was the other boy, Aussie boy, that got caught up in SmackDown. He's like had one title defense. It doesn't make sense for Carmelo. Carmelo is a different champion, a new champion, somebody who can definitely carry the belt for the next couple months until they find somebody who's worthy enough. Braun, they built him up, now they screwing him up with this heel turn because it's stupid. It's really stupid the way they're doing it. They should have kept him a face. I mean, they did a really good job establishing Braun Breaker through that whole cycle of championship with Tommaso Ciampa and that whole storyline. Even the Ziggler, the whole like they did great writing and storytelling to build up Braun Breaker, and they basically destroyed it with this BS heel turn. So I don't get it. So Carmelo wins. Braun Breaker goes to the main roster, and hopefully they can do something to rehab his image there.
Yeah, I completely agree. Tuning into it, hearing so much fuss about him, watching it now recently, it's not a good look.
Exactly.
And I've seen so much good positive word about it. It's
right.
Move that brother up, man. You're only
not a heel
guy.
He's not a heel.
Yeah.
Doesn't work.
All right, y'all. NXT Battleground. Those are our picks. Let's now head over to the other company. Stop giving WWE all the love. Let's head over to AEW Double or Nothing. Sean Mongold kick us off with the unsanctioned match. Adam Cole versus Chris Jericho with Sabu as a special guest enforcer. Who do you think's winning this one, man?
Man, you got to give it to Adam Cole. I mean, they've been building it up for so long, and they got a good story, and they've been telling a good job of it. And, getting Roderick Strong back, hearing motherfucking, some kill switch, back on my TV screen was nice too, because the last time I heard that was the old school CM Punk theme back in, early WWE days. But yeah, no, good storytelling. Definitely see it going to Adam. Sabu, I'm not big on Sabu. I never really followed Sabu, so like the announcement, I don't know who I was expecting to come out, but it wasn't Sabu. I know there's history with him and Chris Jericho. I don't know what happened. It's also kind of weird to have an enforcer on an unsanctioned match. I think that's kind of what. Yeah, I don't. Yeah. Who wrote this? So that's a little confusing, but I'm still excited for the match. Just because there's. Oh yeah, I know exactly. But yeah, it's whatever, but I do want to see it close, and I do want Adam Cole to get his revenge, and just beat the dog shit out of fucking Chris Jericho and his fucking balding spots.
Webster style, who you got, man?
Adam Cole, baby.
Adam Cole, baby.
Adam Cole. Look, Sean's. Sean said everything, and all I gotta say is Adam Cole, baby. That's it.
All right. I see it. It's been fun though. This whole build up, the stuff matches lately. The Roderick versus Jericho, that was cool. All right, Webster Style. I'm gonna throw it to you for the 6-man tag team match. Ethan Page and the Guns, Austin Gunn and Colton Gunn versus the Hardys, Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, and Hook. Who you got?
I'm not gonna really say I don't care about this match.
Ooh.
I think because I've not been big on Ethan Page being in AEW, so it's just something about him that I don't like. I'm going with the Hardys just because it's the Hardys, and I'm a Matt Hardy stan in many respects. And also I like Hook. He hasn't gotten a lot of shine lately, in my opinion. Yeah. He's very good in the ring. I'll say this. My personal feelings aside, I think it's gonna be a good match. I enjoy the Guns. They definitely have learned a lot from their father, and I like how they're growing and progressing. But I think that I want the Hardys to win, especially. Is this Jeff's first match back?
I think so.
I think so. Yeah.
No, he was in the deletion match that they did.
But can that count? I don't count that.
I don't count that as a in-ring match. I'm just thinking I'm going with the Hardys and Hook.
Okay. Especially how about you?
Because of Hook, more importantly.
I'm also not really that entertained by this. I hate the Guns so fucking much. And I know that's their job is to make me hate them, and they did a damn good job but I hate them so much I'm just not entertained by it. Ethan Page, I love Ethan Page. I think he's a great heel. I think this definitely goes to the Hardys. I think it's gonna be a great match. Like you said, Jeff's come back. Hook, I want to see Hook get some shine, because something we're going to talk about later is all the Pillars match. I think they've been really harping on the Pillars lately to try to give them this push, which is culminating into this great match that we're about to have, which we'll talk about later. But I think Hook will hopefully get a push later this year after this Pillars storyline has come down. Because there's a lot of other younger talent who could have been Pillars, but these 4 got pushed up there first. You still got Hook, you still got Ricky. There's a couple other people out there too who are younger, who could have been in that spotlight too. But I think they're pushing these 4 first. But yeah, I still think the Hardys got this.
All right, and if the Hardys win, they will own Ethan Page's contract, whatever that means.
Big money match.
Storyline craziness. All right. Y'all know I love my women's matches. Singles match for the AEW TBS Championship. Jade Cargill versus Taya Valkyrie. Ain't no way. Come on now. Sean, lead us off on this one.
Man, they're starting to take shit from WWE where they're running shit back, and it's annoying me a little bit. I see the build up. They're really trying to build this up. I'm just not interested, and I know they're not going to give it to Taya. They're building Jade up for something big, which I think is right there on your background. And yeah, and I don't even think I hope it's a good match. I enjoy seeing Jade progress in her wrestling. So I'm hoping it's a good match. That's all I want to do is see a good match from Jade on this one, because Taya is a veteran. She's a great fucking wrestler. So that's all I'm hoping for. But Jade obviously wins.
All right, Webster Style.
Yeah, I agree with Sean. I think the problem with the way they've been doing this, even when they, I talked about bringing in somebody, they brought in Taya, and she's somebody I said they should. They haven't done a good job of making the feud credible. Jade could win, or even making Taya seem like she's somebody that could beat Jade, in my opinion. And that's more that's the writing and them falling flat with that. Because Taya is definitely somebody we've seen Taya Valkyrie in all different types of angles over the years in different companies, and she's definitely a credible wrestler and can be a credible threat from a storyline standpoint of dethroning Jade. They haven't done a good job writing that. With all that said, I agree with Sean. I don't see him take it off of Jade. They are planning for something bigger. or at least trying to execute something bigger. Just because they plan on being able to execute it, but I'm hoping for a good match. Taya is definitely somebody who I think could get a good match out of Jade. Will it happen or not? I don't know, but I'm looking forward to see.
All right. Webster Style, I'm going to keep it on you with the Anarchy in the Arena match. We have the Blackpool Combat Club, Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, and Wheeler Yuta versus the Elite, Kenny Omega, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, and Hangman Adam Page. Who do you got on this one, Webster Style?
I see a lot of red.
I see red.
I see a lot of bandages and stitches as a result of this match. Moxley is insane, and I love it. I think I've said to you before. Blackpool Combat Club is them and House of Black are the best factions they have. I love them as heels. They are perfect as heels because Moxley is Moxley regardless of a heel or a face. I love Bryan Danielson as a heel. Claudio Castagnoli, he kind of fits in. And Wheeler Yuta is Kid Flash when he takes the place of Flash in the Justice League. He's great on his own. He can do, just as good things as everybody else, but he always looks like the sidekick.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I've talked about my disdain for the Elite. However, I feel like with this reformation of the Elite, I feel like they'll walk away with it. With Hangman Page back in the fold. I feel like they're going to go back to kind of where everything started with this. And either way, a loss doesn't hurt Blackpool Combat Club, in my opinion. Because wins, losses don't matter to them. It doesn't matter. Especially if no titles involved, it don't matter. They're going to come back just as bloodthirsty as they were before. So that's my take on it.
All right, Sean Mongo, who you got?
Boy, this is a fucking match, man. Yeah. Look, exactly. Said, man. Blackpool Combat Club is up there. Like, it is just so entertaining. Having John on the mic, having Bryan Danielson or Daniel Bryanson, whatever the fuck his name is, I can never fucking remember. Having him on commentary and having him be heel without being like the earthy fucking title wearing motherfucker is great. I loved it. I was really worried about after Regal went back to WWE. I didn't know what was going on. I also want to coin a term that my wife brought up. It's not Wheeler Yuta anymore. It's healer. Because he's a heel. He's a healer Yuta. And I fucking love that, because like in Wheeler Yuta is just such a good, we see him in indie shit and he's sometimes a heel and he plays such a corny heel, but like he can play any character. Like he's just very charismatic. But I do see with that star-studded cast, I mean, he's going to look like the apprentice.
Yes.
He's going to look like the kid who's learning. And I think he is, for all intents and purposes. That's a great group to learn from. You got Claudio as like the enforcer. He's also an ROH champion, and it's such a good stable. I fucking love it. I do see red. I think this is going to be a great match. You have the history with fucking Cowboy with the eye thing. I see the fucking eye patch being ripped off and more screwdrivers being out there. And I don't see a loss hurting either of them, but I do think that they're trying to make BCC like this unstoppable, like wrecking ball. And I feel like they kind of have to give it to them, to keep that momentum and then just have them like keep going through all the things. And then who knows, like have them go against the House of Black, because House of Black won the titles from the Elite minus, Cowboy, obviously, but like the next progression would be great to have, fucking Bryan, fucking Jon Moxley, and Claudio go against House of Black. I think that's that's a fucking slobber knocker of a fucking match, man. And that's you have to, and you have to let them fucking run through the Elite. And then who knows, maybe it brings them, closer together as a family or whatever like that. I'm just confused as to where the Elite's going. I don't know what else there is for the Elite. after this. And that's what confuses me. So it's just like if they win and then go away, it serves no purpose. So, you know what I mean? I don't see them going anywhere. So I want BCC to win. And I see them winning.
And I'll have to add, go ahead, Sean.
Spot fest for days.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Spot fest for days. Like a 5-star match, hopefully. But yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Pat.
No worries. I agree. Definitely spot fest, and I'm excited for that because they know how to put on. I would echo everything you both are saying, and I would also add, or at least from my viewing of like the dirt sheets as well. You know, apparently aren't the contracts for the Young Bucks. You know, I don't see them leaving AEW. I think we all don't see them like that's their brand. They're the producers as well, but. There's been notions though, because of the contracts, situations, it's not fully signed. WWE could throw something at them. I wouldn't be too surprised. And I think the same situation with Kenny. I don't know, but from just seeing that with scheduling, timing, it just kind of makes sense with the world. But who knows? We'll love either way. This is gonna be an amazing match.
Yeah.
All right, Sean, I'm throwing it back to you now with the AEW Women's World Championship. Jamie Hayter, our current champion, versus Toni Storm of the Outcasts.
Jamie Hayter. Look, I love me some Jamie Hayter. I'm definitely a hater in the good way. I love this rivalry. Like, this has been fun. The outsiders, the AEW outsiders have been a good stable. Like, I love their fashion choices. They're coming out with the green leather jackets. Fucking Ruby's coming out. She got the full booty out with Tony. Like, I didn't know that was there. So that was a pleasant surprise the other week when I was like, oh, goddamn, okay.
Ruby can get it. Ruby can definitely get it.
Ruby got ass. Okay, cool. But besides that, I think they just team up very well on all sides. Like, I still think Britt being a face is very weird. And I'm waiting for the inevitable fuck over of, the implosion of them for when Britt fucks over Jamie, because that has been teased in the past, and I've been waiting for it, and they keep like pulling it back. They keep teasing it, and then they pull back from it, and then they rewrite and they course correct, and then everything's fine and hunky dory. I'm waiting for that moment. I'm waiting for Britt to go fucking heel again and screw over Jamie, and then maybe Tony does get the belt, and then it's a great feud. It puts Britt and Jamie into something outside of the belt, and it gives Tony a chance to have it a different heel outside of Britt Baker, because I think the only heel champion has ever been Britt Baker.
I agree. Yeah, I think so.
And I think Nyla for a little bit. But I want to see Tony have it and defend it against some new people, and possibly give it to a new person that we don't even think of. Like, let it build up other people. Britt's had it so many times. She doesn't need it. Jamie's had a very good run. But I can see it going either way. But I definitely, if Jamie loses it, I want it to be because Britt betrays her. If not, then I definitely think Jamie's winning. All
right. Webster style, who you got?
I said before, I haven't really been that excited about this whole storyline. It's gotten better in the past couple weeks. But I agree with Sean overall, though. I feel like this is a Britt Baker heel turn to cost her the title if she loses. If not, she's not losing it.
All right. I would have to say the same. I don't think it's she's going to lose it yet. I think there's still a lot more story that they're trying to build up. But let's now head over to the 21-man battle royal for the AEW International Championship. This one's going to be kind of difficult to kind of plug because they're not giving me any names. This is the Blackjack Battle Royal.
So this is
everybody else that ain't wrestling is wrestling in this.
This is Orange's challenge to everybody, because Orange is the champion, and he was just pretty much like, yeah, let's do a battle royal for my belt. Who cares? So
who do you think? Go ahead, Sean. You're already on. Who do you think's got this one?
Orange has got to win it back. Come on, man. You can't have Orange lose the belt this way. There's no fucking way. Like, unless there's like a huge return, which, let's face it, I think a lot of the huge returns are coming to Collision. which they just announced, obviously, and now it's coming back to Chicago. We know who it's going to be. We've also seen the commercials, so Miro, Samoa Joe, and all of them are going to be on it. And then CM Punk's going to show up, and like I think they're still going to have a lot of stars over there on Collision, and I think it's going to be like a brand split kind of ordeal, like just to keep people who don't like to work with each other. Thunder's going to go over there too because of her whole thing with Britt. We'll have another woman's belt. But yeah, I see Orange winning it. I can't see anybody else. And then Scorpio Sky, I think, was also in the trailer for Collision too. So Scorpio Sky is going to be over there. So I don't, unless they bring someone that's like a new sign, a new hire, or like they just signed as a free agent to come out. I don't see anyone else beating Orange.
All right, Webster Style. Do you have anybody else other than Freshly Squeezed?
No, because without really a big announcement or a big surprise, no, I can't see. And I can't, just like Sean said, I can't see him losing it this way.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think it's the same across the board. Yeah, that one's kind of weird and doesn't make sense. I think we all echo that. So, Webster Style, I'm going to keep it with you with the AEW TNT Championship match, which is also now going to be a ladder match. Wardlow, the current champion, with Arn Anderson in his corner, versus Christian Cage with Luchasaurus in the corner. Webster Style, who do you got? The big man versus Christian Cage and the wannabe dinosaur.
I love Christian Cage. I don't see him winning this. I see him simply. Well, no. I forgot about Luchasaurus. I see him winning only if Luchasaurus is involved to a degree. But I've told you before, I just hate how they've executed this whole TNT title.
Yeah.
How they've botched Wardlow through this whole thing. I don't care who wins. I think putting on Christian Cage might be a better idea simply because it'll just be a better character than Wardlow with the belt. I'm just not feeling Wardlow as a character. And again, it's not his fault the way the championship has been written with the kind of hot potato effect been going, especially the whole feud with Hobbs that was here and gone.
Yeah.
In a matter of like a month?
Yeah.
Like it didn't make
I think Hobbs is going to Collision too, and that's why they did that.
But that was what, 2 months ago?
Yeah, about a month ago.
Yeah. They could have done a better job with that. But yeah, I'm going to go with Wardlow, but because I see this as just a way of putting him over or trying to put him over, personally speaking.
Yeah.
All right, Sean, who you got?
Man, same thing. They dropped the ball hardcore Wardlow. I don't know what the hell is going on with the back and forth. I don't know what the fuck. Like when this whole feud started, I thought it was going to be against Luchasaurus, and I was like, yes, meaty men slapping meat. This is what I want to see. And I haven't seen Luchasaurus in action in a while. And he's a fucking luchador. Like he's a fucking amazing wrestler. And now they're making him like this Kane, wannabe where he just walks around and just like choke slams people. And I'm just like, man, come on. I want to see something more. But I think it would be interesting to have Christian Cage as the title. I think would make the title more interesting to have him have a heel TNT kind of person, because I think the last one was kind of Miro, and that was short-lived. Right. And then Darby beat him again for it, who also dropped it to him, so that was a little weird. But I also can't really see them having that many fucking heel champions. Because MJF has a title, and then Jade has a title, and then the only face, and then Trios champions is House of Black, which I guess they're kind of heelish. The only face you have is Jamie Hayter. And Orange, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I could go either way. I'm not really super excited for it. I mean, we've seen Wardlow in a ladder match before, his first one. This is like, I think, his second. So it might get a little, like the spots might get a little scary. I'm hoping it's good storytelling. But I'm not, the throw in of Arn was weird. I don't know. I'm just not feeling it. But I don't know. I kind of want Christian to win.
All right, but you're saying Wardlow.
I think Wardlow's going to get it, but I want Christian to win.
All right. All right. So I would echo you all. I think they're definitely I think they wanted to keep it with Wardlow, but then they gave it to Hobbs, and then they fucked around with Hobbs, which made Hobbs look terrible. Wardlow, I'm not a fan of, though. Yeah. I don't know why they still want to keep with him, but I still think they're going to keep it to him. I definitely agree with y'all. Christian Cage would be the better champion. And I'll just go ahead and say and just put the energy into the space, into the universe. I'd rather have Christian Cage win it because it'll be more interesting. And then hopefully that'll in turn give Luchasaurus the turnover. You know, I don't want to be this, your brawler anymore. And he'll go against Christian, and that'll be cool. And then hopefully Lucha will get back with
Jungle Boy,
and we'll get our Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus back together because I need them two together. I'm sorry, I need them two to be together again. But yeah, that's what I want because it's boring. It's not interesting to me. So let's slide over to the tag team match for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. We have FTR, Dax, and Cash versus Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. With Karen Jarrett, Sanjay Dutt, and Satnam Singh in the corner. Mark Briscoe is going to be the special guest referee. Sean, who you got on this one, man?
Man, I hate saying it, but I'm not super excited for it. I know it's going to be a great match. I saw what they're trying to do. They've been trying to make this cute, triangle of who's going to get Mark's, attention here and there, pull here, pull there, getting Papa Dukes out there and everything. But obviously I want FTR to win. I definitely think Mark's going to take Jay Lethal's side, and he's probably going to screw over FTR, especially with what happened, I think, last week, I think it was, where fucking FTR accidentally pile drive fucking Mark. It's leading up to that. And it's kind of, if it is, it's bad writing because it's just it's clearly on the wall right there. So want FTR to win, but I definitely think Mark's going to screw him over. And I think Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett, unfortunately, are going to get the fucking belts, which I'm upset about. But we'll see. Who knows? What do you think?
Webster Style, who you got?
We talked about this dynamic last week, and I'm torn. I think after our conversation last week, Kuya P, I came back around to the idea of Jarrett and Lethal. I want FTR to win, but I can really see Jarrett and Lethal walking out with the titles, and for exactly the reason that Sean said. I'm still going with FTR, but I really think they might do it. And I say this because we know TK loves nostalgia.
Yeah.
He loves nostalgia, and there's nothing wrong with that. Especially, I can't believe I'm saying this, Jarrett can still go down. He can still throw. And we talked about our love for Jay Lethal last week. So y'all know where we stand with Jay Lethal. So there are two men that can credibly carry the titles, are still good in the ring, great on there are in many respects the exact package you want, but they are going against FTR.
Yeah.
You have the package already. And old school throwback compared to actual old school wrestlers. I don't know. Tony Khan is having a wet fever dream back there because this is everything he wants.
Yeah, he is.
I'm still going with FTR, but it's, in my opinion, it's a toss-up. I can flip a coin with this one.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I like them both, but I got a feeling, and I think Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett, man, and it would be nice to see with all what they're going on. Storyline, they're funny, hilarious. They can do a lot of stuff. FTR's cool, but I think to be honest, Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett need it more. With their status icons and just and with everything they're doing, it just makes them have a little bit more meat to what they're selling, if you will, and gives them more reason. And they can always still build up more storyline with FTR. But there you go. Those are my feelings, and those are everybody's. I think we'll see. We got more to come. Last match, biggest match, the four pillars of the AEW. Webster Style, kick us off. MJF, our current champion, with Sammy Guevara versus Darby Allin versus Jungle Boy Jack Perry. All four. Who do you got? Webster Style, lead us off.
I don't see MJF losing. I think if they are really. I don't think they did a good job building MJF as champion. Personally speaking, I think that this is an excellent way of him defeating off the other three men, especially of the stats they are as far as the company being in 4 pillars. I think this is a good way of really pushing him forward as the champion and making him more credible. Because let me put it this way. I don't think that any of them should be sniffing around the championship. I don't think Darby should. I don't think Jack Perry should. And who's the last one? Oh, Sammy. None of them are at a point where they should be sniffing at the AEW championship with the talent that this company has. That's just my opinion. I think they pulled the trigger too quickly on MJF, but again, shit happens. We know what happened. They haven't done a good job pushing him and making him feel credible. He's great. It's just the storyline they put him in my opinion, have not done well for the championship belt, and that placement as being champion, in my opinion. Him beating those three, I think, will do a good job pushing that weight of the championship belt forward and bring in a bit more prestige back to it, because I don't think it's really had a lot with MJM being the title holder, or MJF, excuse me. All right, I'm done.
What about you, Sean? Who you got? 4 pillars.
Man, look, I've been waiting for this match since 2019. It has been a long time coming. I could not disagree with you more, my man, Webster Styles, on this MJF thing. And at first I was like, oh man, they pulled the trigger too soon, but like looking back at it, like I let my hate for him because he's such a good heel kind of deter me from seeing what it was. Like I think that Iron Man match, that 60-minute Iron Man match that he had, like really kind of like cemented, like this man can wrestle. Like he's everything. He is the total package. Like he knows it. He's fucking annoying about it. But like he is like Miz times 10, man. He's like what Miz could have been if they had just like pushed him a little bit harder back, like, a decade ago. And I love everything. Like him coming out like the one time of the year when he goes to fucking Long Island or Staten Island, wherever the fuck he's from, and he's like a face and he's like playing with the crowd. Like I love that. Like that's so entertaining and interesting to me. Like he's just a heel online. He's a heel at autograph signings. He's a heel, in All Access, and I hear what you're saying with like pushing the other three a little too soon. And it is hard to see any one of them winning. I think this was more or less a chance to put all three of them in a spot in a singles competition and getting them those promos, because now you're seeing every week, you're seeing each of them get a promo on it. Sammy comes out, cuts a promo in ring, kills it. The other two, Jack and fucking Darby, are kind of having their beef internal. All three of them are having their internal beef. The fucking MJF and Sammy Guevara best friend thing. Oh, you're going to lay down in the ring for me. You won the tournament, and then all of a sudden it's like they're best friends. They're posing with their cats together. Like it was just very entertaining. Right. And then all of a sudden the inevitable breakdown of it. It's just so much fun. The only one I can see other than MJF winning this, unfortunately, is Sammy Guevara. Sammy Guevara has like that face you just want to punch.
That's true.
And he also has done some shit outside of the ring, which I know he's apologized for and things like that, but still the shit lingers a little bit long. And I definitely think that, made a lot of people boo him. And I think that's why he has a lot of heat, because of some of the shit that he did. But they're trying to put him over as this babyface on All Access, where he's like, oh yeah, I don't have a match and I don't know what I'm doing, and oh poor Tay, she's getting the heel shit, because she married me and everything with my other fiance, and like, what I mean, like, so they're really trying to put him over more so than Darby and Jack, because those two are not on All Access. So obviously that tells you where a lot of their stock's going. It's going to Sammy. And MJF, of course, is just a heel. Every time he gets on All Access, he's just like, all right, he's MJF. Same as when he's on the press conference, the pressers and shit after matches. The whole pickle thing with him and Tat. Like I said, love MJF. I don't think he needs the belt anymore, man. Like he's just he is a draw no matter what without the belt at this point. Like he can pick up a feud with anybody and he can just talk his shit and he can put the match over and he can get tremendous heat because he's MJ fucking F. And I literally, as young as he is, I think he's at the point where he's like a Seth Rollins. He doesn't need the fucking belt anymore. He had a good run. He had his good matches. I mean, I don't think he's won against Kenny yet. And that is like really like the only last big match I think that is left for MJF is against Kenny.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Or because he fought Daniel Bryan, he fought fucking Jon Moxley. He's fought Chris Jericho. He's fought CM Punk. He's fought all these like major players in the fucking wrestling industry. But yeah, obviously there's going to be fuck shit happening. Of course, the ring's going to come into play. Like I said, if MJF doesn't win, I see it going to Sammy because they've been putting a lot of stock in him, and maybe this is his face turn, and then he goes away from JAS because he's the one with the championship, or Chris tries to like bull guard him and does the whole like Jamie Hayter, Britt Baker thing. So we'll see. I'm excited for it. I've been waiting for this match for a long time. I love that they gave Darby and Jack more time on the mic. It gives them experience. They're still not strong. They're still not as strong as they could be, but I think this is that experience. This is the help. This is the push them to the level because now they're on the pay-per-view, main event. They're getting promos every week. They're getting the airtime. They're getting their name out there. They're getting the experience. And I think this is going to help them. I don't think they're getting the belt, but I think this has really fucking helped them in their characters and in their experience as wrestlers in AEW.
All right. There you go. I see what you're saying with I've been watching the All Access, and I want to have that conversation too as a future episode, the AEW All Access, because there's a lot of juice in there that we've been seeing, and that Guevara push there and Tay. If Guevara ain't taking it, I think it's MJF all the way, and if not MJF, it'll be Guevara. I think that's it. But at the same time, I agree with y'all. I see so many other people in the company that I think would be better, but MGF is really proving himself. That motherfucker, he's got a lot of heat and he does what he needs. He's been really playing his cards. He's been a smart motherfucker, with a lot of stuff we've been seeing with wrestling and what's been happening in both companies. He knows how to play it. And I know when he's going to get a fat ass contract if WWE lures him away later on down the line. He's got just all what you hate and don't like, the perfect stuff that you want to see as a wrestler, heel, all of that. I think it's going to work. But there you go. Those are it. That's everything. AEW Double or Nothing, NXT Battleground, Night of Champions. But I just thought of one last topic before we sign off. One that got me a little sad. And I'm curious what y'all think real quick. I didn't see all the news on it because I've been super caught up and super busy. So maybe y'all can fill it in. But RKO possibly not being able to wrestle anymore. I don't know the full details on that. Sean, do you know more on that?
So Bob Orton, his father went on a podcast and just said that, he pretty much can't wrestle. The doctors are saying he can't wrestle, but it's kind of like one of those things where it's like speculation on whether he meant forever or, within this year.
So there's some really wrong medically, like with.
Oh yeah.
Oh okay.
Oh yeah, with his spinal, I think it's like a fucking spinal infusion he had to have or some stupid weird shit with his vertebrae. And I mean he's been getting consistent surgeries, but he's out. And I believe he was training, but the doctors are just still not clearing him. And I don't know if they will. And that was the weird speculation. It was is he coming back anytime soon? Oh no, his doctors are not clearing him. And I think they kind of took that and meaning he's retiring, which I don't know. I mean, we've also heard that about Daniel Bryan and Saraya, with neck things and things like that. Miracles happen, things change. Same with Adam Cole, which we watched in All Access. like having that concussion, like being dizzy, hitting the ropes. I mean, it takes time. But yeah, I think that I hope it's not, because I would hate for his legacy to end on RK Bro. I would hate for that, because I fucking could not stand that shit. I don't like Matt Riddle.
Yeah.
I need him to come back, and I don't know. I don't even know what is left for Randy Orton. I mean, he has done so much, but yeah, that would be sad if we don't get anything else from Randy Orton. Like, it would suck.
Yeah, that was the last thing. I agree.
Yeah, Web Style, you think this is the last we've seen of him?
I hope not. Yeah. But I am not a doctor, so I don't know.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think at the end of the day, we all would just rather him be healthy, and safe. If he can, cool. But if it's going to cost him his life or even further pain and agony and suffering, I'd rather him not.
People do the shit for clicks, because like I also saw people posting like a little picture of like John Cena and Edge and Randy Orton all with their backs turned with their arms like around each other, and like, because John Cena said what he said about wrestling and how his body can't do it anymore, and how he apologized to Dave Bautista and The Rock for saying some things that he said when he was wrestling and they left. And then of course Edge, I think this is his last year.
Yeah.
And he still has, like, he got a return and never got a belt. And I feel bad.
That was wild.
But I
don't see the story being rewritten for him to do it one more last time. I don't see the storyline going that way.
Unless Seth wins the belt and they continue their feud, and Edge gets it and then retires and then puts the belt back up for another tournament, and then Roman wins it. I'd be pissed.
He's going to get all the belts. I'm telling you, he's going to get the tag belts, and then he's going to go after that other belt, man. My man Roman's going to he's got all the straps.
All right, y'all. Expedition of Gold.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, y'all. There you go. That's been another KayFabeyBaby NRW Ring Generals Podcast. A lot of conversation this week because a lot of things are going on, but I can't wait to talk the results after what we just predicted, y'all. So before we get up out of here, Webster Style, I know you've been killing it over on the Webster Style Sartorial and Geek podcast, everything you're doing with the checkpoint stuff here on the NRW. Promote away with whatever you got going on, bro.
Yeah, I got some new interviews up. Bourgeois Latte out of Arizona, and Navia, I always get her name screwed up, but she's a Trekkie like me, so I got a chance to talk to her. So both of those interviews are up now on Webster Style YouTube. But you can find everything webstyle.com, Webstyle on Instagram, Webstyle on what's the other one? Twitter. And _ Webster Style on TikTok.
There you go. And my man Sean Mongold, I see the celestial bodies.
Yeah.
And your lovely wife Maki. What's going on with that?
Yeah, so that's our next show. It's coming up June 24th, Saturday. It's all space themed. So if you're a Trekkie, a Star Wars fan, Guardians of the Galaxy, anything space themed is going to be there. It's going to be out of this world. We just went to Great Falls yesterday and did a promo shoot for it. It's great. But yeah, check it out. You can find it. The Bitly link should be up there, but it's not. But if you just go to Eventbrite and look up Celestial Bodies with a W and an A, you'll find it. VIP is already sold out. GA tickets, there's about like 80 left, but we still got like a whole another month. So get your tickets, and then you can find me at SMongoldVO all over all the socials.
There you go, y'all. Check out my fam, man. Webster Style always kills it. All the shows that my boy Sean does with his lovely wife Maki, amazing. I haven't been in a while, and I always have a great time, man. Highly recommend everything both Webster Style and Sean are doing. Please check them out. And for me, it's the Legend Kuya P on Twitter, TikTok, IG, Hive, and of course here on the NRW. And follow us at New Release Wednesday and at the NRW. There you go. I can't talk anymore. I've been talking so long today, y'all. Let us know. We're going to talk more next week. We're going to talk predictions. What happened? We're going to talk aftermath because we gave you the predictions. You know what? We're just going to sign off. It's been another KayFabeyBaby NRW Ring Generals Podcast. We out here, y'all. Peace.
See ya.
Can't talk.
You come in my face, I'm going to fight you. Well, you're not going to bust a nut anytime we're in the ring.
I'm going to get off by cranking your knob just a little beyond the breaking point.
When I get my hands on you, I'm going to eat your ass like a pot of collard greens, baby. I'm gonna stretch his ass like it's never been stretched before.
You can hide behind that commissioner's stuff just so long until I jerk a knot in your ass.
And if you don't think I'm big enough, then you grab a hold of me, and you'll know that I'm growing, my man. Within your hands, I will get as big as I need to be to do the job on you.
All right, just jerk Helmsley off.
There's one part of our bodies that's soft, and it ain't soft all the time, if you catch my meaning. I'm gonna come on you like nobody's ever come on you before. Just you and I getting it on like two men should do.
Oh, no! No, that's it, right?
Corey boy, I'm coming hard.